The grace of God is super sufficient for all of you. My name is Lebopo and I'm a PPS Diamond. I came to the Gospel of God's Grace Ministries when I was 9 months old. If I may take you through my academic journey, I've always been a bright child. I used to obtain grades like A's and B's from my standard 1 till my standard 4. I remember in one of my standard 4 papers, I got 100%, making me the highest in my class. I even got the privilege to write a Commonwealth essay for the Queen in UK, and I managed to get a gold, making me the highest in my standard 4. Moving on with my academic journey, in standard 5, that's where the problem started. I started obtaining very low grades that I knew that I was not capable of getting at all. I started obtaining C's, D's, and E's. I was so confused at that time, for I did not know why I was obtaining these low grades, because I knew in my previous years I was obtaining very high grades. People of God, then I started hanging out with the bad crowd, bad friends, people of God, and this led to me failing my standard 5 end of year. But by the grace of God, I managed to move on to my next grade, which was standard 6. Now, people of God, in my school, we did a syllabus called Cambridge. And people of God, I had an option of writing my Cambridge checkpoint examinations in standard 6, and I could skip standard 7. People of God, this had always been my dream, but because I had already failed, my dream was taken away from me. I continued hanging out with bad friends and the bad crowd, and people of God, I did not perform well in my term 1 standard 6. I was always doing bad things at school. I was not listening when the teacher was teaching. And because I was always coming to church, even when I was failing, I always came to church, people of God. And this only did it not discourage me, but it encouraged me to continue and work hard. And because I was a child of the 3G ministries, I knew about the PPS initiative. So I got the privilege to join the PPS initiative. And in these PPS meetings, the man of God, Prophet Cedric, taught us character and discipline. He taught us that we must sacrifice our presence for the sake of our future, and genuine willingness plus God's ability equals excellence. He also encouraged us to always wake up from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. till maybe 3 a.m. studying. And I did as the man of God said. And my standard 610 I managed to improve my grades, but I would not say I passed because I was still limited to C's by that time. Then came the crossover candlelight 2023, crossing over to the 2024. And people of God, the men of God say that we must write our prayer requests. And my prayer request for the year 2024 was for me to excel in my standard 7, term 1, term 2, term 3, and for me to pass my Cambridge checkpoint examinations. Now, because this was my prayer request, the year 2024 came. It was now time for me to enter my standard 7 journey. People of God, God did answer my prayer request. In my standard 7, I started passing with very, very excellent results. I remember in my standard 7, I got a 90%. From those 37% I used to get in my math in my standard 6, I was now getting a 90%, making me the highest in my class. Remember, I say that the man of God, Prophet Cedric, taught us about character and discipline. I improved in my character and discipline, and it was recognized by the school, and I managed to become a prefect in my standard 7. Yes, people of God, I continued excelling. Now it was time for me to write my Cambridge checkpoint examinations. Mind you, people of God, in my standard 7, I did 7 subjects. But in my Cambridge checkpoint examinations, I would only write 3, which was maths, English, and science. So it was now time for me to write my checkpoint. And now, mind you, people of God, I'm a child that loves praying. Before I would go and write these exams, I would pray, people of God. I would wake up every day at 11 p.m. till 3 a.m., Lord Father, people of God, studying. And I would always minister myself with the living water before I would write my exam. And I would also, my mom would give me the living sticker, and I would always put it in my in my pocket before I would go and write my exams. People of God, I indeed wrote my checkpoint last year, October. My results came out in December, but the school sent them to us in January. And people of God, remember I said that my prayer point for my standard 7 for the year 2024 was for me to pass my standard 7 and to pass my Cambridge checkpoint examinations. Indeed, God did answer my prayer request. For my Cambridge checkpoint examinations, I managed to get 2 A's and 1 B's, and which was 2 A's in my maths and English, and 1 B in my science. Remember I said that I was a very intelligent child in my standard 1 till my standard 4. This is my standard 3 report, and I managed to get A's, straight A's with only 1 B. And in my standard 6, I see that I started hanging out with a bad crowd, bad friends, and my grades did drop. So in my English, I had got a 64, in my maths a 48, in my science a 52, and in my geo a 43. Yes. Now, in my standard 7, when the man of God taught us to sacrifice our presence for the sake of our future, and genuine willingness plus God's ability equals to excellence. In my English, I managed to get my 68, maths a 90, science a 65, geography a 93. Now, in my Cambridge primary checkpoint examinations, I managed to get an A in my English, an A in my maths, and a B in a science, which was an overall grade of an A. And people of God, I managed to be part of the top achievers in my school. I managed to be one of the top achievers, and our school got published by the 𝐂𝐀𝐌𝐁𝑑𝐈𝐃𝐆𝐄. And I was on the newspaper. Here I am, Lebopo Lauren Makhatle. My Cambridge checkpoint examinations are exams that are written, and they're taken they're from the UK, and they're taken back to the UK for us to write. For them to be marked, we only write 3 subjects, which is English, maths, and science. Out of these 3 subjects, I managed to get in English, it was an 80, maths, it was an 80, and science, it was a 74, which was 2 A's and 1 B. Yes, people of God. And the results now, people of God, I ended my standard 7 with excellent results. And now, people of God, I'm now in Form 1. And I promised God that I was going to pass my Form 1 with excellent results. Just a few weeks ago, I wrote one of my tests and my quizzes, and I managed to get 100% in my Setswana, making me the highest in my class. My encouragement to my peers could be that we must live one life at a time. There's a student life and there's a worldly life. Let us live a student life. Let us live a life of character and discipline. The man of God tells us to sacrifice our presence for the sake of our future. Everything that we want will always be there in the future, but academics comes once. So let us listen to the messages of the man of God. Thank you, Jesus.